Hello everyone, this is Teri. Welcome to my YouTube channel Amethystastrotarot, and I'm a practicing astrologer and a tarot reader. And for your request for astrological chart interpretations, annual forecast, or any type of tarot readings, you may always go to my profile and click on the links and contact me so we can have a chat. Having said that, today is about my series for the third decan of Gemini. I got a bit of delay because I was a bit under the weather, so it happens, no? So today is the 16th of June 2025, and I will be talking about the third decan of Gemini under the series of one decan, one card, and one chart. So let me share my screen and tell you what am I going to be talking about. Why am I oops, kicked out of the thing all of a sudden? It looks like something may happen with the Zoom maybe. Screen share pause. Thank you. What can I do about it? Okay, interesting things are happening. I will stop the share and I will try to share it again because some strange thing for sure happened. Anyway, so today in the third decan of Gemini, according to the Chaldean or descending order, the Sun is the ruler planet here. And according to the Triplicity order, the Saturn is the decan ruler, though as you know and as we may all know that the traditional ruler of Gemini is Mercury, but we will have a kind of Sun Saturn combo. Not necessarily only if you have Sun in the third decan of Gemini, also, it can be any other placements that could be in the last 10 degrees of the sign of Gemini. They may have a Sun in Gemini and Saturn in Gemini impact on them. And the Minor Arcana card that is associated with this decan is Ten of Swords. We can see the image here, Ten of Swords. And the public figure that I have looked into, Venus Williams, actually chart for annual forecast last year. And since she has Sun in Gemini, and if I'm not mistaken, her birthday is, yeah, tomorrow, 17th of June. Yeah, happy birthday, Venus Williams. And I will be talking about her Sun in Gemini in her chart a little bit under this episode. So when we think about, of course, Sun in Gemini, Sun is our identity, our self-expression, and how we shine in certain areas of life. So it's our conscious part, and it's a way that how we express who we are. And in that sense, I mean, when it is in Gemini, of course, there is this rational part of it, but at the same time, uh, there's this curious part, there's the social butterfly, likes to connect with people, and of course, the mental exchange is very important. And also, I mean, like to learn, I mean, to gather information, and all this can be is important for Sun in Gemini, but at the same time, there is Mercury rule, so it could be the case that sometimes it might be kind of in a way like overthinking could get into, or like too much of everything. It's like I want to learn this, I want to learn that, I want to etc. And then it can be overwhelming with the amount of information that they could collect or they try to pass to you, or the way that they talk, or the way that communicate. But at the end of the day, I mean, like also sometimes, I mean, that's I think a wrong definition, like that they are, because it's Gemini, you know, twins, double-bodied sign, etc. And so that they seem to be like, it's like, I mean, it's like they say one moment this and later another moment that. And I think it's always due to Mercury, swift Mercury, that fast thinking. I mean, because they are thinking so fast that, I mean, at the moment, this idea looks fine, but then they continue thinking and they say that no, 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 actually, that's not the best, or that's not a good. So actually, also mutable sign, of course, it's like you have this flexibility, adaptability, and then to be prone to changes, etc. So it's like, okay, that maybe that won't work. Okay, let's try this, and then it looks like as if they change ideas, etc. all the time. But I think it's more about the way that uh, they're thinking. I mean, so I mean, Sun in Gemini, Sun, Decan ruler, etc. It would be completely nearly normal how Sun in Gemini might appear. Of course, that's the only Sun. As we know, there are other placements and planets that symbolize other qualities in our charts, and it's important to have that connection with them and how they express with their context or without their context as well, because it can be the case that sometimes some of the planets don't have any connection with each other, which will make them unexpected, and we could look into that in other charts as well. So when we think about the Saturn in Gemini, I mean, we are talking about Saturn, of course, it's the tradition, it could be the structure, the discipline, and also there is this reality that is coming through Saturn as well, and also hard work, all that effort that is to create something. And also, I mean, of course, Saturn sometimes is associated with old or with endings, with death itself, but not necessarily physical death. So with all this going into that, and like in that sense, when Saturn is in Gemini, like there is this boundaries, but I think that I feel that, I mean, it's like maybe to put boundaries to the thinking of Gemini sometimes could be useful, but on the other hand, they want, of course, freedom when they are thinking. So in that sense, I mean, it's like um, it's in a way sometimes maybe um, these boundaries, if they come with structure, all these maybe I also learned this information, that information, etc. They come under a certain structure, certain order, and that could make that all that information or whatever, that all that mental exchanges, I think, into something more meaningful. In that sense, I think as Saturn could be in a way hindering the, I mean, like that kind of thinking that is coming through Gemini, but at the same time it could be really helpful. And if that help is taken, I think Saturn in Gemini, the expression in Saturn in Gemini, it's like could be really great. And also probably that that hard work that is put on our thoughts, everything could give us good results as well. I think in that sense, I think Saturn in Gemini can be really useful at the end of the day. So after having said that all, thank God today I didn't make any mistake, because last time I had, I think, stopped the recording or something like that, and that wasn't good at all. So let's look at the Ten of Swords. Only that the way that this sharing is very strange today. I have to admit that. Okay, this is the Ten of Swords that we are seeing here. And here, of course, we have this 10 swords that are upside down. And generally, when you see the swords going upside down, the sword suit is, of course, is associated with the air element. And they can be, I mean, associated with like kind of less positive thinking. And here, actually, everything is going to the body of the poor guy that is lying on the floor. But there is something about the um, 10, number 10, because number 10, it is the end. I mean, for the suites also, number 10 is the last number, but it's also a way to make an opening for the beginning as well. I mean, maybe a journey is finishing, you are completing and wrapping up, but at the end of the day, it's going into a maybe new journey. And in that sense, I think Saturn can be interesting. If you think about the world card, which is associated with Saturn, that's the last trump or last major arcana card. And that's also, I mean, like when we look at the world card, it's like also, it's like the end, but it's actually the end, but it's like you are finishing a cycle. Uh, and after that you finish the cycle, you come back to the beginning where you meet the fool again in another journey. So in that sense, I think that kind of feeling is interesting in Ten of Swords, when we are also thinking that one of the Decan rulers is Saturn. And also, I mean, like sometimes Ten of Swords is like um, it's, as I said, I mean, as there could be all this social and everything, and all this information, and then all this curiosity coming through Gemini, there could be that overthinking, over gathering of data, etc. And sometimes I don't know, but it could not be appreciated by everyone, and we think that, I mean, like we are on the right place, we are doing the right thing, we are thinking in the right way. But sometimes some people say that, okay, they may criticize us for that, and they may be against the ideas or the, I mean, the information that is coming through us. They may be against them, and especially when it comes from the people that you would expect that they will support you, it might feel like a betrayal sometimes, right? It's like so in that sense, I think here the uh, it's more like a reflection. So if you face that kind of rejection or contradiction, or some people like criticizing you and etc., okay, first, of course, it could be heavy, and it could be like, ah, okay, that's the end, how come? I mean, it could be like, yeah, you may not be expecting that, but at the end of the day, that's a way of also sometimes reflecting. As I said, it's like we are thinking like, okay, why did this happen, and why even this or these people I mean, behaved in this way. And that could be the point that we may understand that actually maybe some of the swords had reasons, and it could be the time to stand up and move on. I mean, like, also, it's not the case that like we always have to, I mean, agree with the disagreement. I mean, it could be the case that we can just like, and then go. Of course, here it's more like it really hit hard at the center, but at the end of the day, it's like there is always uh, morning after night and sun after rain. And I think that Ten of Swords could be about that. I mean, like, what kind of an ending, what kind of I mean, contradiction, or that kind of, this is more something mental, I mean. And also it could be showing Saturn in Gemini to maybe construct our ideas, or the way that we, I mean, communicate with people, or we pass our uh, mental, I mean, like, all those brainstormings to people, etc. Maybe that's a call to structure them, to be more disciplined about the way that we run around, and like all this digging into sources, etc. And it can be a kind of a wake up call after the fall. No, Saturn is also, I think, I don't know if in natal astrology, in traditional astrology, it's again associated with fall, but in horror, it could be a real fall as well. So it's like wake up call. I mean, close this. Of course, again, since it's Gemini, of course, we have to make sure that we understand and we question the reasons of this fall, and then end this and continue. I think there is this sense of Ten of Swords a lot here. So I think, I mean, it depends. As I always say, let me stop sharing. I mean, with the tarot cards, the question, the context, and the moment, they all add a lot of addition to the meanings that are coming through those cards, and also the neighboring cards, their relationship with those cards, I think, also make a lot of difference. In that sense, it's really important to understand that when we are looking at any cards. Yeah, today is, by the way, 25 degrees 35 minutes. Sun is in Gemini in the still third decan, thank God. And that's actually my the nearest direct midpoint. So that's only Gemini. And actually, like, yeah, stuff that is going on in my chart, I think, after Mars in Libra. So having said that, let's look at the chart of Venus Williams. I wonder, in sharing, what kind of things this will make, because this sounds very strange. I mean, at the moment, you see what it is making. It's showing at the same time the Ten of Swords. I have no idea why it is doing that. Anyway, this is Venus Williams chart, 17th of June 1980, Linwood, California. And that she has a Libra rising, and we see her sun in Gemini, that is hand in hand with her Venus. Her name is Venus, and her sun is in Gemini, and her Venus is Gemini. It's really nice, right? And though Venus is retrograde here, and they are both in the last and third decan of Gemini, as I said, Sun and Saturn rule decans, in addition to the Mercury traditional ruler. And I always think that I'm in like Sun in Gemini in the ninth house could be, I mean, like it's like you in a way channel all the information or the things, all the I mean that curiosity and all those rational ideas, etc. To create something like no overseas that is that is taking you to the I mean other cultures. And I think I don't say that yeah she has sun in Gemini, that's why she's I mean tennis player, but there is a tennis player, I think that's a place that you would like to shine, no, the international arena, and you should be, that's like let's say nice place to broadcast yourself, no. It's like as we used to, I mean I think she already got retired. uh Also the tennis players, I mean maximum age of um, playing, but it's a nice place to be in the, I don't know, on the channels or the on the radios, etc. That the people are listening to, and then you are shining there with all your, I mean, in a way, maybe sometimes wisdom or with your moments and everything. And also, if you think that I mean, it's like the traditional ruler of Gemini is Mercury, and it's all about hands. And the tennis, of course, has the feet. You have to move, but the trick goes with the hands that are holding those tennis rackets, right? And of course, the Venus in Gemini, it's like we are talking about someone that is really social, could be social, and in the way that she could be relating to people. It's could be very important that mental exchange, or it could be more inwards. It could be more like not very obvious because of the retrograde period, but still, I mean, like this values also the way that she expresses her values could be very on a very rational base. I mean, like it's important for her that there is this mental base in everything um, she takes as valuable. I mean, so values, relationships, the way that she expresses herself, etc. There is this rational base, the mental exchange, and the ideas could be really important in that sense. I mean, I had gone through her uh, chart before previous year, so I would only uh, in that sense stick with sun, and because there is a conjunction with the Venus, so I only wanted to mention that. And I think, I mean, like I also think that sometimes uh, of course ninth house could be with the higher education and related with that, and also the beliefs, you know, the religion, the faith, and sometimes the spirituality. And in that sense, I mean, or the long journeys, which I think that probably the life took her to very long journeys because of the tennis career. But also I think like not like the uh, like a university professor or academician or something like that, but I think that still, I mean, that the Mercury impact, uh, which is in Cancer, which is really in a very caring, sentimental, and also a nurturing sign. I mean, like it's like you are approaching people in that sense with the actually mid-heaven also in Cancer, again the same principle. I mean, it could be really the case that, I mean, I don't know, really, I really didn't update myself what Venus Williams is doing, but it's a really nice um, disposition in a way. This being disposited by Mercury in Cancer, in that sense, it could be a good chance to be a mentor to other people all around the world, and also find this ground for this exchange of ideas, continuing to be social, and also being able to maybe help and being able to mentor them, being able to give them some sort of education, but through a lot of caring and nurturing way, and at an emotional level. So I think in that sense, that's a very nice combination with Venus Williams. I don't know if I mentioned it last year, but this year I just wanted to mention that. And seeing the again, I mean that the moon in Leo, it's really nice. I mean that gives that all that confidence, and also this creative energy and everything, and the way that, I mean, the feeling of like it's again shining, that sun, that is curious sun, that rational sun is also the dispositor of this moon in Leo, and it gives a lot of authenticity and the feeling of authenticity, and passing it to the wider groups, and the wider community and different types of organizations maybe. So it's a really nice feeling that is coming through Venus Williams, Sun and Moon and Mercury. Of course, I'm not going into the details. I told it, I think, 100 times by now. I will stop sharing. So that would be me with the one card, one chart, or no, one deck, one card, one chart. Okay, that I got the title. And for the next one, hopefully it would be the uh, first decan of Cancer. After the Cancer season is very is kind of due. I mean, by the 21st of June, we will have the Cancer season, starting by the sun moving into the sign of Cancer, and it would be the summer solstice at the same time. So an interesting period will start in that sense. And I would be back with another card, which would be the Two of Cups, because that's the minor arcana that is associated with the first decan of Cancer. And the decan rulers there would be the Venus in the descending order, Chaldean order, because after Sun, Venus comes. And in the triplicity, Cancer ruled by Moon. So Moon is the ruler. So it would be, we will have Venus, Moon in Cancer, and we will look into that with a surprise chart, which I will find in like 5 days. So until then, hope to see you soon. All the best. Bye bye.